little bit of exposure. Kind of crap you want to be doing in the dark. Got this. Got this. Saving the best for last. Devil's Garden, this 15-kilometer or 10-mile hike in Arches National Park, does a loop revealing the 9 arches among the slick rock of Utah. This adventure starts with a scenic drive through Arches National Park. Devil's Garden is at the furthest point, a 30-minute drive from the visitor center. This drive is so beautiful, it makes this park accessible even to those who are movement impaired. With the sweltering heat of the day, I decided to do this hike late in the afternoon. It's 38 degrees outside, what is that, about 105 degrees Fahrenheit? I'm not built for this kind of heat. I'm gonna bring extra water, I'm gonna chug 1 liter and bring 6. I'm doing this starting at, 5:07 p.m. So I'm gonna bring a headlamp just in case. Let's get started. This shade is definitely welcome, but I don't think it's gonna last. Because I'm doing this later in the day, the sun is on the other side, the left side of the rocks, so all these are casting shadows now, which is good. Well, this trail has, I think, 7 or 8, 9 arches. We've got pine tree arch and tunnel arches over here. That pine tree arch is quite large, but now I gotta backtrack to the main trail. The next one is landscape arch. So now that we did those first couple arches, there's a long path here that goes to landscape arch. And once we hit that, there'll be a big loop. So we're gonna take the right side, and that big loop goes multiple kilometers all the way around and back down this trail, back to the parking lot. 38 degrees. Did I say it's 38 degrees out here? It's hot. It's hot in the shade. So this here, I believe, is a Utah juniper, and these berries, which take 2 years to develop, are the same as the ones on Vancouver Island, although different species. I believe they are edible, and people would make like jam out of this, or they cook them down. They smell like spruce trees. I'm not gonna eat that, but smells a little bit pungent, a little bit fantastic. Yeah. So it turns out most of the tourists are just doing those first 2 arches, and once you start coming out to this landscape arch, because it's like a good, I don't know, 1.5 kilometers or so to get out here, maybe 2 kilometers, everyone just drops off, and the people you see coming back from here are all sunburnt and exhausted. You see this guy behind me here. He's pushing her in a wheelchair. What a champ! That's incredible. I think there was a woman's daughter just said give her mom credit too. Her mom was pushing really hard. The woman in the wheelchair, she was pushing really hard. The next arch we have here is called Landscape Arch, and in 1991 this arch was a lot thicker, and people thought they heard thunder in the distance. They're kind of confused, and it turns out 60 tons of rock fell off this arch, and all that's left is this skinny little thing. I can't imagine this thing's gonna last much longer. Now we go back to the main trail, and we're doing the big loop now. Should be a couple kilometers. Loops around to the top of the big circle, and there'll be 2 or 3 arches at the top end, and then it somehow loops back through this landscape arch. So I just got back to the main trail, and this is called the primitive trail. It said some route finding, some rock scrambling. Somebody wrote in Sharpie, deadly, exclamation mark. I didn't expect to have any of that on this, so we'll see what's over here. I also pray that I'm not walking in sand for 6 kilometers in this heat. Most of the trail up until this point has not been sand.
I end up missing the White Fin Arch and Crystal Arch as they weren't immediately beside the trail, but I did find this cool looking lizard.
So the temperature has dropped now. I can't quite tell, it's probably in the high 20s now, Celsius. So it's much more bearable out here. It's really got me thinking now, the rock scrambling on that sign, and someone wrote deadly, like it's the anticipation, like what does this rock scrambling look like? I don't know.
A lesser defined trail to my right that I didn't take ended up going up to another arch called Top Story Window, which isn't marked on the map.
So I've officially stepped onto the rock. Some amazing rock formations out here. It said on that sign that there's some route finding. So far it's been really easy. I'm using my Gaia GPS. If you just turn on public trails on that app, it'll make a solid green line. Makes it so easy to know where to go. But I mean, I haven't had any question of where to go so far. Well, definitely wouldn't want to fall off that. Well, I'm guessing the path goes up there, so that's definitely some rock scrambling. I sure hope it doesn't go up that one way out there. Maybe the hardest part was getting up onto here.
This would be the first of many rock scrambles, but this would end up being the second most challenging of the day. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. This rock is sticky and grippy, but if you're to fall, there's nothing to stop you on the way down. It was at this point I got stuck on this one spot. I had to step up about 1.5 feet at an angled slope. There was no good spot to hook in my toe. I just had to use my momentum to thrust myself up and trust I wouldn't fall. The 25-foot fall to the bottom would almost guarantee something to be broken: ribs, arm, my camera, or legs. None of which I wanted to have any part of.
Well, that definitely got the heart going a little bit. I'm not a big fan of slick rock scrambling like this, but at least it's dry and grippy. I got big lugs on my trail shoes, so not too bad. You can basically see the path is kind of worn right against the rock there, how people come up. You could potentially maybe go right up there, but you'd have to kind of push and jump up. There are a few cairns sitting around. This is very common to find on Vancouver Island. We don't really have marked trails, we just have cairns that people build, so to me this is like being back home. So now trying to negotiate where to go down here. Oh, there's a spot right here. Just kind of meander. I could probably just go straight down with these shoes, but I don't want to really risk it with all this camera gear. Touchdown. So we got another little cairn here. Oh, so we're jumping back up on top here.
Here we have a pretty basic scramble. There was a rock propped up there so you could pop yourself up. But it was so slick I couldn't comfortably plant my shoe and just try to run up the rock. If I were to slip, I would smash my camera as it's on my shoulder. This made it quite difficult for me for a lot of these scrambles. I end up going over to the side and climbing up another section and gap jumping over onto this rock slab.
So you notice too, there's these logs blocking the way. And look, there's even a sign.
End up passing a girl here going the other direction.
Hello.
She'd be one of the few and only people I'd see in this entire backcountry primitive trail.
Some clouds have come out and the temperature's dropped substantially. It's probably only 22 degrees now. But I'm tired. Can you hear that? There's this crow that's just going insane. Dude sounds seriously grumpy. I don't know what his problem is, but I'm not dropping dead for him to eat me, so he's gonna have to find something else to eat. Another little scramble junction. You can either try to climb up that thing, which is a pain, or what everyone does here, you need to basically jump that, just go full steam and just leap across. It's a pretty small gap, but you actually have to commit. You have to like fully commit, just lunge over with one foot, catch the other foot and go, go, go. You can't just tiptoe. I tried to tiptoe and it doesn't work. So I'm at the furthest point of the trail and it goes back here 0.1 miles to the next arch. It's been a while since we had an arch. Look at this rock. It's got almost stair steps all the way up. You know there's dinguses that climb that thing. Wow. So this is private arch. It is very private. There's no sound here. It's so quiet. Very cool, unexpected. So that's private arch there, that skinny little guy. And now I'm climbing up on this, one of these big bumps. Look at the view up here. Check this out. So this thing is definitely everything that was promised. There's route finding, scrambling, deadly drops, and yeah, fantastic views. You definitely need a track back here. There's a few spots I got to turn around. It's easy to navigate if you have the track on your phone, because you could be going up any one of these rock slopes. It's hard to see the cairns sometimes. So I'm rushing now as the sun's going down, 7:30. I'm gonna see if I just want to get some light on those last 2 or 3 arches. So I'm assuming that one was called Double Arch. I don't know, I didn't really see a sign anywhere, but. So I'm really hustling now. It's 0.8 of a mile one way out to see Dark Angel. Dark Angel's the furthest one. I'm gonna just hustle out there, move real quick. Not many shots except for with this little camera, and then hustle back. Luckily the terrain looks like it's very easy to traverse. I can jog this out. Dark Angel.
When I was approaching Dark Angel, I was looking for an arch, not a rock formation that looks like a giant diggly-doo. Damage on the rock to my right in the shape of an arch got me confused what exactly Dark Angel was. It was this large spire sticking out of the earth.
It's gotta be that one because I don't see anything else around here. The sun's setting, which means I'm getting beautiful light right now, but also means the sun is going down and I'm like out at Dark Angel. I gotta hustle. But check this out, the double arch is looking beautiful from here.
After trail running back to Double O Arch, I thought I would just quickly hop on the trail and be on my way. Little did I know I would get lost here for over half an hour as the sun would start to set. I ended up walking between these rock ribs at the base of them, doing circles and missing a small signpost underneath a shrub. This is a case where GPS can't help you much, as the difference of where the trail was versus where I was standing was only about 5 or 10 feet at maximum. The only difference was, instead of being far down on the ground, it was high up on the rock. I didn't expect the trail to go up on one of these rock ribs.
So I went down there because I just thought there's no way the trail's up here, but looks like it is. Oh man, I'm getting stressed. Chasing this trail, the light going down. Yeah, see, there's the trail here. So way up high on this slab here. Sure hope this is the right way. So I haven't seen anyone in like 2 hours. 2.5 hours. I've only seen 3 people today past the area where it's like dangerous trail, etc., etc. This appears to be the right way, so I feel good about this. So this one is Black Arch, way down there. So we're going up here now.
After the viewpoint for the Black Cave Arch, I thought it'd be smooth sailing all the way out. Little did I know I'd have to do the toughest scramble in the dark as the single final move to get me back to the paved trail. But wanting to complete the entire tour, I would see the Navajo and Partition arches first, that being partially in the dark, before I'd have to conquer the dark descent.
Sure hope this connects down there. Looks like the path down there is just as doable, but we'll see here. Yeah, it's down here. Hopefully last scramble of the day. Oh, this is not bad. This is chunky and no flat spots.
In my panic to finish this loop with some resemblance of daylight, I ended up getting off the trail. Somehow I missed this left turn and end up having to climb down a few different rock slabs to get myself back on track.
I just ran into two people that were going out the way I just came, so I don't know if they seem pretty confident in knowing what they're doing. So maybe they're doing it as a night hike, or maybe they're just going out to that double arch and back, I'm not sure. I just made it to the final two. It's the Partition Arch and Navajo Arch. Let's go do Navajo first. What the heck is in this tree? Some demonic bug in there or something. Freaking me out.
Arcs all the way through.
I'm not going back that way, but interesting. Oh, I see. Oh. All right, so now I'm hustling back. I have to do the same distance walk again, all the way back, and then I have to do it again on the other side of this rock for the last arch. So we're headed down to see the Partition Arch, which is the final one. I'm not sure how many that is, 9 or so arches today. So All Trails gives this a hard rating, and I would agree with that. The route finding is very difficult in a couple of spots, mainly near the 00 arch, trying to get around the big rock without going down, and then getting up onto the rock bluff. Throw in the heat, and yeah, some scrambling, a little bit of exposure. Definitely a hard trail, but just in kind of different type of hard, not elevation, but more technical stuff. Saving the best for last. Woo! Look at this window, this arch, amazing. This is cool. Super cool.
This excitement would soon be short-lived as I'd have to do the crux in the dark. Long skinny rock ridge connects the top section with the Partition and Navajo Arch down to the Landscape Arch. While in the daytime it probably would be a little bit challenging and also a little bit scary, but you'd be able to do it as you could see what you're doing. I was doing this in twilight with basically almost no light. I had two options: to either try to get down with the little light I had or dig through my bag and do this with a headlamp on.
So I thought I was done with all the stuff, but I haven't got to the fork yet, and then I'm just coming across this stuff. Oh man, this is loose. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm so tired. I don't have energy for this kind of stuff right now.
I opted to quickly handle this obstacle as I didn't want to spend time pulling out my headlamp and lose my nerve going down there, as I knew I had to get down to get back to my car. My mental headspace was ready to conquer this, but I could tell my mind was deteriorating quickly. Unfortunately, because it was so dark I couldn't see the sheen on the rock, I ended up going over to the left, having to step over the pit of hell to get there. This is what this hike looks like during the day, so it's likely about a 25 to 30 foot fall between these rock cracks.
Oh, fuck that. It's not fun.
After successfully swinging over the pit, I rushed to the edge of the rock rib, only to find a 40-foot drop in front of me. I knew at this point I was on the wrong path. I backtracked to where I came from, and I just barely saw the rock sheen of where people's boot steps were, which meant I once again had to swing over the rock crack and jump over that to get back to where I was. Descending this rock rib in the dark was terrifying. The thing is only 5 feet wide with about 3 feet of that actually usable surface. The rest of it slopes off too far into the black void.
So that was the wrong way. This one is the right way. I got into a big cliff over there. This is not the kind of crap you want to be doing in the dark. Got this.
Now you might be wondering why I kept my tripod out instead of putting it away. First off, I didn't want to spend any extra time as the twilight was dimming. And second, I wanted to have it on hand just in case I did fall into the pit of hell. I could use it as a brace to hopefully prevent myself from falling in.
Oh god, my camera fell off.
By a stroke of luck, as my action camera flew out of my pocket and started sliding down the rock, it caught on just the tiniest of rock ridges, preventing it from falling into the abyss.
Hello.
What you just heard was the pair that was behind me. They ended up going over to the 00 arch and coming back.
You can see I'm back at that arch now, and that stuff behind me was just terrifying in the dark. I went across that little thing where it was wrong, and oh man, had to climb back, and then found the actual path because it was a straight down drop, and then my camera, little pocket camera, flew out of my pocket there, and I was just like, oh my god, don't fall on a crack, I'm so tired. Just after I got to the bottom, you can see the lights behind me there. That's the two people that I saw earlier. So I guess they just went and tagged probably the double arch and then came back. So, but I didn't know they were coming back. I was like all alone. I was like, I don't know how to get down this nasty rock slope. So
once I got to the landscape arch, I ended up waiting at the junction for them to catch up to me. The mother said when she got to the top of that rock rib, that slope, and looked down, she was terrified. She was freaked out, didn't think she'd be able to get down. But her son helped encourage her to get down with the help of a headlamp. After they caught up to me, we ended up hiking out the last few kilometers to the trailhead, to which we were the only 2 cars left in the parking lot.
Alright, I've had 2 hours to decompress from that hike. That's mentally one of the most exhausting hikes I've ever done. I completed it in 4.5 hours. And that's with all my filming. I was hiking really fast and I was trail running. Like I trail ran the entire dark, whatever that one is called, Dark Lord, the Dark Lady, or whatever, the furthest arch. I ran all the way out and ran all the way back, and I was trail running sections in between that were clear and simple. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and you got some value out of this, especially if you're going to do this hike. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/davidhiking, or you can just simply turn on the notification bell and watch my videos. That's great too. And until next one, have a great day.